Look at this. A skyscraper, collapsing under its own weight. But here's the twist. It wasn't an accident. The same people who built it destroyed it. And this didn't happen in the middle of nowhere. It happened in a dense city, surrounded by homes, families, and lives. So how do they pull this off? And what really happens when billion-dollar towers fall? Today, we'll explore the 8 tallest and most spectacular building demolitions in history. Let's start with number 8, Ocean Tower. The Ocean Tower stood on South Padre Island, Texas. Rising over 115 meters, it was one of the tallest towers in the state. It was meant to be a luxury paradise. Hotel rooms, swimming pools, even a giant spa overlooking the ocean. But just 2 years after construction began, engineers noticed something terrifying: cracks. Not just in the walls, but deep in the support columns. The soil beneath the island was collapsing. Every single day the tower was sinking, twisting, millimeter by millimeter, until it earned a chilling nickname: the Leaning Tower of South Padre. Engineers tried to save it, but fixing the foundation would have cost more than the entire building itself. So, in December 2009, they made the hardest decision: to bring it down. That's how Texas lost $75 million in 15 seconds, and they would never get it back. Next, we have number 7, Landmark Tower. Again in Texas, this time in Fort Worth. The Landmark Tower once ruled the city's skyline. At its top stood a massive rotating clock, weighing over 30 tons, the largest 4-face clock in the world. When it opened, the tower was full of life. Offices, apartments, lights shining through every window. But in 2000, disaster struck. A violent tornado ripped through Fort Worth, battering the tower and leaving it in ruins. Cracked walls, shattered glass. The Landmark Tower was no longer safe. After years of uncertainty, the decision was made. It should be demolished. In 2006, 360 pounds of explosives brought the giant down in just 12 seconds. And just like that, the landmark was erased forever. Now we have number 6, AfE Tower. This building was the tallest ever demolished in Europe. It was built in 1972 as part of the University of Frankfurt in Germany. For years it was full of students, but as time went by, the tower started to age. By the year 2000, it was no longer safe to enter, so in February 2014, Germany made a decision: take it down. At first, they planned to dismantle it piece by piece, but that would have taken too much time and money. In the end, they used over 1 ton of explosives, and in just seconds, the tower collapsed, setting a record as the tallest building ever demolished in Europe. Next on the list, number 5, Xi'an Unfinished Tower. In November 2015, this 118-meter building was demolished in China. Constructed in 1999, it was meant to be a landmark, but it was never used. Years passed, the city grew around it, and the tower stood empty, abandoned. The government had only one choice: destroy it and make way for something new. 1.4 tons of dynamite were planted, and by 7 a.m., the countdown began. Minutes later, the Golden Flower building was gone, the tallest building ever demolished in China. Number 4, J.L. Hudson Department Store. This giant American retail store in Detroit was completed in 1929. It wasn't just a building, it was the second tallest department store in the world, rising 25 stories and covering an entire city block. But by the 1980s, the city had changed. Downtown declined, and the store closed in 1983. Empty, abandoned, and increasingly unsafe, the building became a ghost over the city. On October 24, 1998, the decision was made. With a carefully planned implosion, the colossal structure was brought down in seconds. The tallest and most powerful building implosion ever attempted at the time. Next, number 3, Brayton Point Power Station. In Massachusetts, the Brayton Point Power Station was one of the largest coal-fired plants in New England. For more than 5 decades, it powered millions of homes, producing up to 1,600 megawatts of electricity. But times changed. Coal was no longer the future. Environmental regulations tightened and the plant was finally shut down in 2017. 2 years later, in April 2019, massive explosions shook the sky as the plant's 152-meter cooling towers came down. The demolition marked the end of coal power in Massachusetts and the beginning of a cleaner energy transition. Number 2. Power Station Westerholt in Germany. Built in the 1960s, it served the Ruhr region, once one of Europe's most powerful industrial zones. Its giant chimney reached over 250 meters into the sky, making it one of the tallest structures in the area. But as Germany began its transition away from coal, Westerholt's days were numbered. The plant was shut down, and in 2006, the massive cooling tower and chimney were destroyed in a spectacular controlled explosion. In seconds, the skyline changed forever. And number 1, Meena Plaza. In Dubai, Meena Plaza once aimed to be a shining example of modern architecture, but ambition outpaced reality. The building suffered from poor construction oversight and delays that left it unfinished and unsafe. Floors remained incomplete, beams cracked, and the site became a danger rather than a landmark. By the late 2000s, authorities made a tough decision. Meena Plaza had to be demolished before it could collapse on its own. Explosives were carefully placed and, in a few seconds, the structure came down. A dramatic reminder of what happens when dreams are built on weak foundations. So this is the story of every building on Earth. It starts with ambition, but one small mistake and everything gets demolished. I believe every building in the world will face the same fate, sooner or later. But tell me, do you think these demolitions are okay? Or should we dismantle them piece by piece so their materials can be reused? And which of these demolitions did you find the most spectacular? Don't forget to comment your thoughts and subscribe for more stories like this.